Hello students, welcome to EdUp, an online learning platform for electrical engineering. How are you spending your lockdown period? I hope you are spending wisely. This is the right time for you to utilize your time. This is my third video on electrical and electronics measurement. In my last videos, I have discussed some MCQ questions related to some terms used in measurement like dead time, dead zone, etc. and different types of errors occurring in measurement system. Today's lecture is more like a revision class for what we have studied in the last lectures. In this lecture, I have taken some MCQ questions from previous year competitive exam also. This will definitely boost your confidence. I have also taken some bonus questions in this lecture. These are some questions which you can solve, but it will take a lot of time in the exam hall. So if you have done it earlier, you could solve the question in the exam by analyzing the options only. These questions will help you crack the competitive exam. So let's start. So this is something about me. Okay. So the first question is sensitivity of a voltmeter is given as. So these are the options given. I have explained this term in my previous lecture. You can go to that lecture and watch it. So basically we know that sensitivity is the reciprocal of IFSD. We know sensitivity equal to reciprocal of full scale deflection, or that full scale deflection is always current I. Okay, so I can be written as V by R. So if we put V by R here, then we will get R by V. Okay, so I equal to V by R. So when we put I value here, we get resistance by voltage. Okay, let's get back to the question. So the options here could be ohm per voltage is the correct answer. Reciprocal of full scale deflection is also correct answer. So the correct answer will be, or the correct option will be C. Okay. So the question here asking is which of the following statement is correct? The application of instrument in wrong manner in the procedure of measurement results in A. Okay. So I have discussed all types of errors related to measurement system in my last video. You can go to that video and watch it. You will be very clear about the concept related to the errors of the measurement system. So in this case, we will solve this question by eliminating the options. Okay, since we know the definition of different types of errors related to measurement system. Okay, so see, first it is option given here is systematic error. So what is systematic error? The error which is related to system or the instrument itself is called the systematic error. Okay, so that is not the question which is asked here. So this is not the answer. Okay, now come to random error. What is random error? So random error is basically the error which is occurred in the measurement system. We don't know how it is occurring to the measurement system and how it is getting eliminated. So this is also not the correct option. Now come to the gross error. We know that the gross error means the error committed by human beings while measuring some value using the measurement system. So this will be the answer. Okay. Also, this instrument error comes under systematic error. Okay. So this will be not the answer. This is a very important question from 2004 IAS exam. So today I have taken only IAS question that is related to errors only. So you can get a better idea what type of questions are being asked in the IES exam related to errors. Okay, so let's go to the next question. The question here asking is, what are the causes of gross error in the instrument? So I have already told you what is gross error. The error caused human beings only. So read the options. I know you can answer this question. Okay. So the options given are misreading of instrument. Of course, this is the error done by human being only. So this will be a option. Incorrect adjustment of instrument, this is also done by human being only. So this also be a gross error. Now come to the third option, error due to defective instrument. This is not the correct answer because this is called the instrumental error, okay, or systematic error. The fourth option is also not the gross error. The options given is the error due to effect of environment on the instrument. This is called the environmental error, not the gross error. So the answer will be 1 and 2. Okay, always do like this in the exam. If you don't know the answer, eliminate the options which are not correct, you will get the right answer. This is also a IAS question which is asked in 2011. Let's go to the next question. So the question asked here is, consider the following. Option 1, human errors, improper application of instruments, error due to worn parts of an instrument, errors due to effects of environment. Which of the above come under the type of systematic errors? So we know that systematic error means the errors caused by systems only. Okay, so let's go through the options. So human errors is done by human beings only. So that is not the correct option. Now improper application of instrument, it is also not the human error. Okay. Now come to the third option, error due to worn parts of an instrument. This is the systematic error. Okay. And the option 4 is given, errors due to effects of environment. So this is also called the environmental error, which comes under instrumental error or systematic error. Okay, so option 3 and 4 are correct option. So C will be the correct option. This is also asked in IES 2009. Let's go to the next question. So the question here asked, which of the following types of errors come under systematic error? So we have discussed it earlier that the errors which are caused by systems only is called the systematic error. So here you can go through the options. Irregular spring tension, it is a systematic error. Improper readings of instrument, this is done by human being only. Okay, the reading could be done by the human being, so improper reading will be done by the human being only. So it is not a systematic error, it's a gross error. Okay, now third is the loading effect. This is also the systematic error. Now come to the fourth option, error due to presence of electric field and magnetic field. So this is actually not a systematic error. This is called the random error because we don't know how these things will affect the measurement of the system. Okay, so this is not the systematic error. This is the random error. So the option will be this one, C. Okay, this is also asked in IES 2011. So the question asking here is, systematic error of an instrument for measurement can be minimized by. So these are the options given. Selecting a proper measuring device for the particular application. Second option is calibrating the measuring device against a standard device. Third option is applying correction factors for change of ambient conditions, and all of the above. So as you can clearly see, this all options can be done to make the error minimum or not. So the options will be the fourth option. Okay, carrying out all of the above. So this is an important question which is asked in 2012. Let's go to the next question. Which of the following statements correctly represents the systematic error? We very well know that what is systematic error. So the error which is occurring in system only, that's it. The errors which are inherently present in the instrument, that is called the systematic error. So basically the loading effect, the manufacturing defect. Okay, so the option A will be correct here. Okay, so these errors can be calculated from the details of the instrument. This is not the correct option. This is not the residual error. These errors may occur under control condition. No, this is not the correct option. These are the errors committed by experiments. No, this is again called the gross error, which is done by human being only. So the option A will be the correct answer. Okay. So this is also an important question which is asked in 2004. So this is the bonus question which I have told you earlier. So let's go to the question. Okay. So the question here is the dimension of the flux density is. Okay. So let's go to the solution. So B given here is, so we know B is the flux density and the formula for that is magnetic flux divided by area. Okay. So that is phi by A. So the dimension of phi is m L square t to the power minus 2 I to the power minus 1, and the dimension of area is L square. So we can get here that m into t to the power minus 2 I to the power minus 1. Now what is Q? Q is the charge. We know Q equal to current into time. So I into T. So what is I? I equal to Q by time. I equal to Q by time. Okay. Now see here I to the power minus 1 is there. So here I equal to Q by T. So what is I to the power minus 1? That is equal to T by Q. Okay, or q to the power minus 1, t to the power minus 1. Now put the value of I and this value mt to the power minus 2 in B formula. Okay, so this is the formula. By solving this we get m t to the power minus 1 q to the power minus 1. So this will be the answer. This is a very important question because these type of questions will only help you to crack different competitive exams, because you know these things, but it will take a lot of time to solve this question in the exam hall. Okay, you can also remember the dimension of phi. Okay, it will be very helpful also in the exam. What is the dimension of area? What is the dimension of time or current? All these things you have to remember or make a short note of it. Okay. Now let's go to the next question. So this is the second bonus question. So the question here asking is root over of L by C has the dimension of. I know these are little bit peculiar question, but this type of question actually asked in the exams. Okay, so it is our job to solve this question and expect more question like that also. Okay, so that there is nothing to be afraid of. You can solve this question. There is a very simple technique to solve this. If you follow this type of techniques you can solve this question. Okay, so let's go to the solution. So basically we know that the EMF equal to inductance into rate of change of current, that is the L into di by dt. So inductance will be, what is inductance? Inductance will be EMF divided by I divided by T, that is rate of change of current. Okay. What is capacitance? Capacitance equal to charge by voltage. We know charge equal to IT, that is current into time, and V will remain same. Now just put these values, okay, these inductance values, these capacitance values here in this formula, that is root over of inductance divided by capacitance will be, so V divided by IT from this equation, that is the inductance, and IT into V, there is a divide here. Okay, so that is IT divided by V. So by solving this we get V square divided by I square. So the root over of that equal to V divided by R. So V divided by I. So the value will be resistance. So the dimension of inductance by capacitance is equal to resistance. Okay. So this is the last question of this video. In the next video, we will start some new chapters with some new questions related to different measurement devices, that is voltmeter or ammeter. Okay. So thank you. Thank you for watching. Please like and share this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel Adopt, and click on the bell icon to never miss a video. Thank you.